Jayant Dasgupta joining in on the conversation this morning. He's former Indian Ambassador to the World Trade Organization. Mr. Dasgupta, thank you so much for joining in. And we're trying to give our viewers some perspective. Does the WTO do anything right now? I'm just wondering, this has been going on for months. It's the World Trade Organization. What is the WTO doing?
Well, there are three functions of the WTO very briefly. One of them is negotiating new treaties for improved market access and for making trade easier. The second aspect, which is very important, is about dispute settlement. And the third one is about monitoring, if anybody has violated, any country has violated its obligations or commitments. Now, the most important pillar is, of course, negotiations, but it is intertwined with this dispute settlement issue. And if the dispute settlement leg of the three, that is crippled or it is non-functional, then the whole edifice, can't stand very steadily. So that is exactly what has happened. And the US has contributed very largely to crippling the dispute settlement system by not allowing the appellate body to function, by not allowing new members to join the appellate body. So the negotiating pillar has also been progressing very, very slowly. And the monitoring, aspect has also suffered, because if there is a violation and a country wants to complain, where will it complain? It can complain to the dispute settlement system, but it's non-functional. So that is why there is this perception that the WTO has stopped functioning, but it is not quite so. It has delivered on the fisheries subsidies agreement at the last ministerial in the UAE in February 2024. And it is moving ahead, thinking about, discussing about various ways of reforming the WTO. But having said that, without the most important trading member in the world, in terms of, if you take the imports as well as exports, if that member is not contributing significantly to the discussions, and it is holding, of course, a veto in a sense, because every decision is taken by consensus in the WTO, then it becomes very difficult to move ahead.
Agreed, Mr. Dasgupta. It gets difficult to go ahead. Stay with us. Let me also get in Mr. Ajay Sahai, DG and CEO at FIEO. Mr. Sahai, we've been hearing of the trade tariffs at 50%. It's been almost 12 hours now. What is the clear message that you're picking up from exporters? Because this is going to be a major concern. Though the other aspect that I'm hearing from a few of them is that probably you could start setting up companies in countries with lower tariffs and do a trade via countries with lower tariff. Is that something that could be considered as well?
Let me tell you, till the tariff was 25%, exporters were looking into the option of absorbing it, even we approaching the government in absorbing it. Now with tariff at 50%, the differential tariff with our competitor is in the range of 30 to 35%. And therefore, in most of the product, almost in all the product, is something which cannot be absorbed. And the difference is so much that we should not expect the government also to come forward and in some way help out. The only good thing is that roughly 45% of the total trade, which is under Section 232, which includes pharma, smartphone, and the products like steel, aluminum, copper, where the tariff already is 50%, they have been exempted from 25% duty. So probably that will remain unaffected. How long is also a question. But balance 55% of the trade will be definitely hit. To what extent it will hit, only time will tell. I don't think any exporter will look into the option of trading through other countries. He has already imposed 40% tariff on transshipment, and violation will entail huge penalties. None of the exporter would like to do it. At the same time, we are expecting that since 21 days window is there, we should continue with our negotiation, of course, clarifying on the red lines, but probably if we can look into what else can be offered to the US in lieu of dairy and agriculture, that may take the negotiation forward. Let us continue to be engaged with the US, because unless the dialogue is open, you will not be able to move forward. So let us keep those channels open at this point of time.
Mr. Sahai, for the betterment of the farmers as well, there are some lines that can't be crossed, right? So I heard you say that there are some concessions that could be given. There are some things that can be purchased from the US. What are they?
I made it very clear. Dairy and agriculture are the red lines.
Red
If we
lines.
can
Okay,
offer,
fine.
after all, the tariff is started with the trade deficit.
Okay,
if we
fair
can
point.
look into offering something more to the US, help us in bridging the trade deficit, that can be one of the options. Because if you're not offering them agri and dairy, bring something in lieu of that so that negotiation move forward. You cannot say that I will not give this, I will not give something else also.
Sure, hear you. Mr. Dasgupta, assuming that let's work with an assumption that some resolution comes about, but pending that, or if this lasts for a while, what does an average Indian business which is reliant on export income and particularly textiles, gems and jewelry, etc., do? Are there options around this?
I think the options are rather limited in the short term because, looking at new markets and developing contacts there and starting to export to those markets is not going to be easy. As far as our established markets are concerned, the European Union, which is one of our largest markets, China, which imports very little from us and could import a lot more. So these are some of the areas where we can focus on behalf of the government as well as the business. And in the case of China, if there were to emerge a kind of an alliance or a stronger pushback from the BRICS countries, because China, Russia, Brazil, the president has also mentioned, Lula, that he would be speaking to the other BRICS leaders. So, because Brazil has also been slapped with 50% tariffs, and for a non-trade reason, the treatment of the ex-president Bolsonaro is the reason for that. So, I think these are some of the options. As mentioned by Dr. Ajay Sahai, the issue of setting up business in another country which attracts lesser tariff and then transshipping from there, it's not an option, really speaking, because it will attract sanctions and legal action. So the options are limited. The exporters will have to suffer, unfortunately, very unfortunate, who were traditionally exporting to the US and in the areas which have come under sanction, barring mobile phones for the moment, semiconductors,
I just want to come to Mr. Sahai on that
and
part, sir.
pharma.
Sir, I just want to come to Mr. Sahai exactly on that point. And, I don't think exporters will be left to suffer and languish in any case. There are already some subsidies which have been announced by the government, more to come. This is a space that we need to watch. But from the exporters' point of view, Mr. Sahai, if you can give us a sense of what's happening on the ground. What are large exporters doing? Are they looking at alternate routes, not transshipments? I'm looking at alternate buyers for some of their products. How are they sort of moving and realigning in this very uncertain time? Because look at what's happened today with Japan. They already have a trade deal and then another 15%. So considering even if 50% becomes 15%, it could become 30% again tomorrow. Doing business with the US is now risky for the next few years, isn't it?
That's why, because a business looks into clarity and stability. Unfortunately, in dealing with Mr. Trump, neither we have the clarity nor the stability. You have rightly said, tomorrow some new kind of penalty, new kind of tariff may come. Indian exporters are definitely looking into other countries also, but as told by Mr. Jayant Dasgupta, it is not something which is possible in the short term. You cannot move to a new market overnight. It takes time. And therefore, in medium to long term, for de-risking also, they are looking into the other market. The FTA has offered them an opportunity. I think UK will be a good big market once the UK Parliament approves the FTA. The early harvest with the EU will also help, and so with other GCC's countries. But these are in medium to long term. I think in the short term, a lot of exporters will take a hit. I was talking to many of the exporters in the morning. Some have taken the advance where the dollar was 84. Now, if they have to refund that, dollar has moved to 87.50. That is a cost. They have placed order for the raw material. They have booked the container. all cancellation will entail a cost to them. So there are definitely challenges in export. That's why, as an organization, we feel that since the 21 days window has been given, and I'm pretty sure this is with the purpose, we should try to utilize, though of course we should reform on non-negotiable areas also.
Got it, Mr. Sahai. In fact, Mr. Dasgupta, one quick question. You know, in instances like this, I know this is the first for all, what should the WTO actually be doing? Because it seems that they are completely being ignored right now.
Well, the WTO does not have the discretion. The DG is just a functionary who has been given certain powers. But, you know, she can't take action on an independent basis. So whatever decision has to be taken in the General Council or in the Ministerial Conference. And there, because decisions are taken by consensus, every country has virtually a veto. And the US will exercise that if it feels that the WTO is trying to move in a direction it doesn't like. So I don't think there is any recourse to the WTO at the present juncture.
So no recourse at the moment, and I think we have to just wait and watch. But thank you so much, Mr. Dasgupta. Thank you, Mr. Sahai, for joining us on the show.